all of you. Arun, tell me what the equation for flux according to Gauss's theorem.
I is equal to closed integral of E dot ds is equal to 1 by epsilon naught into q in.
Okay. So today we are going to give the proof for that. State and prove Gauss's theorem. Statement part is completed. Now you have to give the proof for that. So we are giving the proof with spherical surface. Okay. We consider a positive charge at the center of the sphere. And you know, plus Q charge, electric field lines are directed radially out. So take any point P on the surface. Find the distance. Electric field at the point P. Point number 1. Electric field at the point P is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0. Q divided by R square. The direction of electric field E vector is equal to R cap. It is radially out. Electric field direction is marked as the E vector. And the point is radially out. Positive charge is at the center of the sphere. And we want to find out the flux through the surface. The surface we consider for calculating the flux, we call it as Gaussian surface. DS, Gaussian surface. Okay, the flux, the surface that we use for calculating flux, we call it as Gaussian. Second point, flux through Gaussian surface. Flux through this Gaussian surface, y is equal to closed integral E dot ds. You can see the flux lines are passing all over the surface. And E vector dot ds when we are calculating E vector at the point P is directed out. Yes, around the point P we consider a small area. ds is a small area around the point P. Below ds vector, which is along the outward normal. Is along the outward normal. E vector and ds vector are parallel around the point P. Anywhere you can take any on the surface, spherical surface, E vector and ds vector are parallel. So here we write E vector parallel to ds vector. Y is equal to cos integral E ds cos theta. Cos theta means here 0. Cos 0 is 1. So y is equal to cos integral E ds. From here, E can be taken outside. Because at any point, all the points on the surface are equidistant. All the points on the surface are equidistant, so it can be taken outside. Closed integral ds. Closed integral ds means the total surface area of the spherical surface. That is E into 4 pi r square. Here how we can move to flex. Y is equal to E into 4 pi r square. And then substitute the value of E from this equation. To the value of electric field in this equation. So we are getting the value here on the right. So the flux is equal to E, the value in magnitude 1 by 4 pi epsilon divided by r square into pi r square. 4 pi r square, 4 pi r square cancel, the remaining is 1 by epsilon 0 into q. Where q is the total charge which is inside this closed surface. So phi is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 q. We are getting the answer. So conclusion is, what the conclusion? We start from the flux phi. Conclusion, phi is equal to closed integral E dot ds is equal to 1 by epsilon. So this is the proof for Gauss's theorem. State and Gauss's theorem is a common question. State and prove Gauss's theorem, that is a common question. Now this flux will not change. If you take, depending on the whether you are taking a small sphere, bigger sphere, independent of the size and shape, there will be no change. If Q is the charge inside, what is the flux through the surface? These are the field lines. Field lines are going like this. For a positive charge, the lines are going like this outside. What is the flux through the surface? Flux through the surface by Gaussian dynamics by equal to 1 by inside. Q inside is there Q. So if you are giving 2 microcoulomb, you can calculate the value. Suppose 2 microcoulomb plus 2 microcoulomb charge is kept here. What is the flux calculation by this equation? So 1 mark notice 1 by epsilon 0 into 2 into 10 to the power minus 6. You know the value epsilon 0 can be calculated. So this is the way how to calculate the flux. Next bond point, this flux, even if you are suppose you are replacing the spherical surface by any other surface, cylindrical surface, cubical surface, there will be no change in the flux. Flux value remains same. It is independent of size or shape of the surface that you are considering. So whether you take small sphere, bigger sphere, independent of the size and independent of the shape, very important point. Okay. Across spherical surface, if we construct cylindrical surface also, there will be no change and flux remains same. Cubical surface also you keep, there will be no change, flux remains same. Next important point here, the equation we are at Q inside. Q inside, here how to calculate, that is the total charge inside the Gaussian surface. It will be equal to the algebraic sum of the charges. Agar positive or the positive you have to take, negative or the negative you have to take. That is the algebraic sum. Suppose inside the surface I am saying diagram. Suppose I am marking here plus Q and minus Q charge is kept here. What is the flux through the surface? What is the flux through the surface section? You have a surface here, so surface plus Q and minus Q charge is kept here. What is the flux through the surface? Lecture.
0.
Value will be equal to 0. The Q inside that stands for the algebraic sum. Here it is plus Q charge and other side minus Q charge requires this value. So what is the flux of the surface? 1 by epsilon Q inside. Inside is equal to 0. Why flux? There is no flux. It's an electric dipole. So when you place an electric dipole inside, so there will be no flux through this closed surface. So this is a plus 2 charge. Suppose we are giving some other charge, some other place, plus 2 Q charge. What is the total flux through the surface? Total flux through the surface again, you got to take the algebraic sum Q inside. That is plus Q and plus 2Q. That will be equal to here. Q inside is plus Q plus 2Q. Total value equal to 3Q. So flux is equal to 1 by epsilon 0. What is the unit of flux? Anshuman?
No unit.
Flux का कोई यूनिट नहीं है. इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इनटू एरिया है. Prayag Jain, is there any unit for flux?
No, sir.
फ्लक्स के लिए यूनिट नहीं है.
सर न्यूटन पर कूलम मीटर पे
न्यूटन पर कूलम. Flux is equal to electric
Into
field
meters
area.
square.
Okay. Next, take one more question you can see. We have two spherical shells. First one is of radius r1 and second one of radius r. First one spherical shell S1, second spherical shell S2. plus Q charge is kept inside S1. Given that R2 is greater than R1 means second spherical shell is outside. R2 is greater than R1. You have to calculate what is the flux through the two surfaces spherical shells S1 and S2. You have to find out the ratio of the flux through the two surfaces. Flux through the first surface S1 1 by epsilon 0 into what is the charge inside S1? Charge inside S1 is Q. Second point, flux through the second surface S2 1 by epsilon 0 into what is the charge inside S2? First surface you can remove it. What is the charge inside S2? Charge inside S2 is same as plus Q itself. The Q is number 2. So what is the ratio? Ratio means flux to the first surface to the flux to the second surface. But in the same value, same flux. 1 by epsilon 0 into Q, that is equal to 1. Ratio same. That means the number of flux through S1, if it is 100, second surface will be 100. Next, if I am going to add, suppose I am adding here side, plus charge is placed in between S1 and S2. Between S1 and S2 gap, we are placing plus 2Q charge. Now find the ratio of the flux through these two surfaces that you can calculate. What is the flux through S1? What is the flux through S2? Then find the value. This is a part about this one. Do it in the copy all of it. Anyone?
1 by 3.
Okay. S1 inside S1, what is the charge? Charge is plus Q itself. There is no change. Inside S1, the charge inside is Q itself. Equation number 1. What is next one? Flux through S2, 1 by epsilon 0 into the charge inside S2. The location of the charge can be anywhere. That is in one point. Anywhere it can be. We can just forget about S1. Inside S2, check the total charge. Either plus 2Q and either plus Q charge. So total charge will be equal to plus Q and plus 2Q. That is the total charge will be equal to plus 3Q. Total charge plus 3Q, that is inside S2. So here I have to write 3Q. So in this diagram, the total flux through S2 is 3Q. Therefore, ratio flux to the first upon flux second one, 1 by 0 into Q into divided by 1 by 0 into 3Q. This is equal to 1 by 3. This is the way how to calculate the flux. One more example. Okay. You have a charge plus 2Q that is placed at a point 2A, 0. And you have a minus Q charge that is placed at minus A, 0. These are the coordinates on given. You have to find flux through a sphere. Flux through a sphere, its origin center will be at the origin. Center of the sphere will be at the origin. And of radius. Radius of the sphere is considered as 3A. So find the flux through a sphere of radius 3A with its center at the origin of the coordinate system. The two charges plus Q and minus Q are located at 2s0 and minus s0 respectively. Find the flux through a sphere of radius 3a with its center at the origin of the coordinate system.
1 upon epsilon naught into Q.
Okay, correct. The value of Q may be given to 1 microcoulomb, 2 microcoulomb, so you have to. So you can mark coordinate system. Origin 0, A, 2A. This will be equal to minus A minus 2. So 3A also you can mark because radius is given as 3. You can construct a sphere of radius 3. This is sphere of radius 3A. Plus 2Q charge is here. Plus 2Q charge is at this point 2A, comma 0. And minus Q charge is at this point. Minus Q charge at the point minus A, comma 0. Both are lying along its axis. So what is the total flux of the circle? Again, calculated as flux equal to 1 by 0 in the Q inside. What is here Q inside? Inside is algebraic sum of the charges. One is plus 2Q charge and the other minus Q charge that is equal to Q. Therefore, this is equal to 1 by 0. How many Newton per coulomb meters? So this is the way how to calculate that. Okay, next we are going for the application number 1. This is to find electric field due to a line charge. Yesterday we have seen different types of continuous charge distribution. Out of that, first one is line charge distribution. Charge can be uniformly distributed over the length. It can be a straight wire or it can be over the circumference of a circle. In such cases, electric field can be calculated by using Gauss's theorem. Application number 1, very important. Application number 1 to find electric field due to a line charge. Infinitely long. So if you have a line charge, charge is uniformly distributed over the length with a linear charge density lambda coulomb per meter. Per unit length charge is lambda. Per unit length charge is lambda. It is called linear charge density. We take a point P at a perpendicular distance and R from it. We have to find electric field at the point P that a perpendicular distance R from it. You have to confirm the direction of electric field at the point P because it is infinitely long, very long line charge. It is not a point charge. So just to recognize the direction of electric field at the point P, what is the net direction of electric field at the point P? We consider two small elements. A and B, which are equidistant from the center point O. The length of elements A, एक छोटा सा part लगेगा, a small part of this line charge is taken at A and B, and its length is here, small part. So what is the charge present here? It will be equal to lambda into here. This is the charge at this region, which can be considered as a negligible size point charge. And here also the charge will be equal to lambda here because the size is taken as the length is taken. So because of this element A, electric field at the point P is can be recognized as KQ by R square, and electric field around this point this can be considered as a small amount of charge. So electric field at the point P is radiating outward from this element. Similarly, electric field at the point P by this element at the point P is like this. KQ by R square, it will be going like this. So if they are making an angle, if this angle is bigger, this angle will be for this values of electric field A and B. By the element A and B, they are equidistant from the center, so they are equal in magnitude. So EA is equal to EB, and they can be resolved into horizontal and vertical components. So vertical components cancel, horizontal components get added. Vertical components cancel, horizontal component get added. Means electric field at the point P is, it is in this direction, perpendicular to the line charge, and it is going outward if it is positive. So you have to just confirm, this diagram is just to confirm the net directional electric field on the point. So we are saying that what is vertical components of this electric field cancel due to this element, horizontal component get added, means electric field is perpendicular to this line charge. So what is that electric field? That is to be calculated. So I am just removing the diagram. So electric field at the point normal to line charge, and it is directed like this. This is electric field. No other components. Other components are cancelling. So electric field at the point P is directed as per the diagram, away perpendicular to the line charge. What is the electric field at the point P? Find out electric field at the point P by using Gauss's theorem. Point number 1, you are to construct a Gaussian surface. First one, construct a Gaussian surface for convenience. So we construct a cylinder. A cylinder is constructed of radius equal to OP distance. Radius is equal to OP and of any length and axis as line charge. Axis as line charge. So we are to construct a Gaussian surface. Surface is a cylinder we are constructing of radius is equal to OP, that is equal to R, and of any length with the line charge as the axis. So this is the Gaussian surface we are constructing. And you can see inside the Gaussian surface, some part of line charge is there and some charge is present. So lines of force will be coming to that. We have two end faces and one curved surface. We have to find out total flux through this. So this surface constructed we call it as Gaussian. Aim is to find electric field at the point P, which is perpendicular to the line charge. That is already proved with respect to the figure 1. That is to be mentioned. First point, we constructed a Gaussian surface. Point number 2. What is the flux through Gaussian surface? Point number 2. Flux through Gaussian surface. Flux through Gaussian surface, that is y is equal to. We have 3 phases here. First one, I'm marking here phase number 1, first end phase. Phase number 2, second end phase. And phase number 3, that means curved surface. There are 3 surfaces here. So flux can, lines of force can pass through here, here, or here. We find out that. So I'm writing here flux through first end phase. Plus flux through second end phase. And flux through third, which is a current surface. In all the cases, we have to find out A dot S. So phi is equal to closed integral E dot ds over the first end phase. First end phase. Plus closed integral E dot ds over the second end phase. And closed integral E dot ds over third, which is the curved surface. So to find out the flux, you have to recognize the direction of E vector and ds vector on these surfaces. You have to find out the direction of E vector and ds vector on the surfaces. So on the first surface, where is E vector and ds vector? E vector is perpendicular radially out like this. Ds vector, if you are taking here, ds vector will be outward from normal. Ds vector. And on the first end phase. Second end phase, left phase radially out, and from here outward from normal is here. Therefore, area to ds vector. Second end phase also angle theta is then degree. On the curved surface near the point P, you multiply the electric field and area transfer in ds here, it is also in the direction of E vector. Yes. So here theta equal to 0 degree. Around surface theta 0 degree and the end faces theta 90 degrees. So end face theta 90 cos 90 0 second end face theta 90 and third one theta equal to 0 degree. E vector perpendicular to ds vector. E vector perpendicular to ds vector. And this is E vector parallel to ds vector. What is the flux? E ds cos 90. So first one 0. First end face no flux. Second end face there is no flux. And third one close integral E ds cos 0. That is 1. So phi is equal to close integral E ds. E can be taken outside. So phi is equal to E. Equidistant point E will be a constant. Remaining is closed integral ds. Closed integral ds is the total surface area of the curved surface. Total surface area of the curved surface, that is equal to y is equal to E into 2 pi RL. This is equation number 1. E into 2 pi RL equation number 1. So this is the way how to calculate the flux through the surface constructed. Now we can recall Gauss's theorem. By Gauss's theorem, next one. By Gauss's theorem, flux can also be calculated as 1 by epsilon 0 into V inside. So what is the charge inside? Itna region के अंदर charge क्या है? Lambda is the charge per unit length, and you can take L as the length, any length. So inside the charge, Q inside is equal to lambda into L. The charge is there inside the Gaussian surface. So this is phi equal to 1 by epsilon 0 Q inside is lambda L equals number 2. Calculate the flux from the surface, and with the help of Gauss's theorem, we calculate the flux equating last point. Primary equation 1 and 2. Equating 2 pi r e into 2 pi r equal to 1 by 0 into lambda L. That electric field is 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0 lambda by r. This is the equation of the electric field at the point P. And if lambda is greater than 0, positive charge, then at point P electric field is out. If lambda is less than 0, it will be a negative charge. Then at the point P, it will be directed in. So we can write this in vector form. E vector is equal to 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0 lambda by r cap. R cap decide the directions. If lambda greater than out, lambda less than 0, it will be in. So this is the electric field at any point due to infinity log line charge. So write this equation 5 times in the top. Write the equation 5 times, all of you, and learn and tell me equation. Learn the equation and tell me. Akshita, tell me what is the equation for electric field due to line charge?
1 by 2 pi lambda by r cap.
What, 1 by?
2 pi E naught lambda by r cap.
Okay, now see, it's 1 by 4 pi nahi hai, 1 by 4 pi, 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0. This is the only the difference is the 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0. We used to, that means use all the time 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, but in this equation only 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0 is there. Take care of that. That's why I asked. In almost all other equation, that constant is k 1 by 4 by epsilon 0 ही आता है, but इसमें 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0 है, याद रखना all of you. Okay, right. That is why you have to write 5 times 1 by 2 pi epsilon 0. Okay, bye. We'll see you next.